Okay, then welcome back. So let's talk about the continuity of the medieval India. Rajput, son of king. So Agnikul Rajput and foreign origin theory. Agnikul Rajput, there is a very fantastic story behind that. What is this Agnikul Rajput? That priest Vasisht, the great priest Vasisht, when he saw that earth is dominated by demons, khali rakshas hi rakshas tha udhar, earth was dominated by demons, then Vasisht conducted yajna at Mount Abu. Yajna at Mount Abu. And therefore, in this yajna, you will find that 4 warriors evolved from that fire pit of that yajna. So that all the 4 warriors came from fire pit of that yajna. Fire pit of that yajna. Parmar, Pratihar, Chauhan and Chalukya. Parmar, Pratihar, Chauhan and Chalukya. These 4 are called Agnikul Rajput. These 4 are called Agnikul Rajput. Firebrand Rajput. Agnikul. Because they came from the fire. Vasisht conducted yajna at Mount Abu. Conducted yajna at Mount Abu. So from that fire pit, 4 warriors evolved. Pratihar, Parmar, Chauhan, Chalukya. So it's called Agnikul Rajput. Agnikul Rajput. So priest Vasisht conducted yajna at Mount Abu. And one theory said that Rajputs are foreigners. Rajputs came from outside because there is a close cultural similarity between the Rajput and the Central Asian. So there is a close cultural similarity between the Rajput and the Central Asia. So this is the reason why the Colonel Todd, he is the official historian of Rajput period, Colonel Todd, and Colonel Todd said that Rajputs are foreigners. So one theory said the Agnikul Rajput, that came from the firebrand, but you know all firebrands mostly they do not fire and then succumb to the foreign invasion. So Agnikul Rajput, foreign origin theory, was explained by Colonel Todd. Colonel Todd, he is the official historian of the Rajput period. Rajput period. He wrote the history of Rajput. So Colonel Todd, he is the official historian of Rajput period. When earth was full of demons. Full of demons. So Agnikul Rajput and foreign origin theory. So out of these, Parmar, Pratihar, Chauhan and Chalukya. Chalukya is also known as Solanki. This is another Chalukya. Solanki, he is Rajput. So we are talking about the 750 AD now. $750 AD. So out of the 4 Agnikul Rajput, Pratihar was involved in tripartite struggle. Tripartite struggle to capture the Kannauj. So Pratihar was involved in tripartite struggle. I hope you remember this map I made for you people. Look at this map. Rashtkota, Pal of Bengal and Pratihar will have a fight over Kannauj. This is called tripartite struggle. So next you can give the heading tripartite struggle. In early medieval period, this struggle was to capture the Kannauj. Early medieval period, this struggle was to capture the Kannauj. Kannauj was a very important place during the time of Harshvardhan. Kannauj became the center of political activities. Look at how the center of political activities keep on increasing, keep on diverting to the northwest, from Patliputra to Kannauj to Delhi. Patliputra to Kannauj to Delhi. This is called a center. Delhi. Kannauj. So earlier the center of political authority was in Patliputra, later shifted to Kannauj and later shifted to Delhi. Okay, so right now during the time of Harshvardhan, Kannauj became very important part of administrative system, and Kannauj became the center of politico-military activities. Kannauj became very important part of the system, and Kannauj became center of politico-military activities. Kannauj became center of politico-military activities. So three powers of India, Pratihar from the northwest, Rashtkot from the south and Pal from the east, started fighting to get the control over the Kannauj. So Kannauj became the center. Kannauj, Pal, Pratihar and Rashtkot. This had started in the 750 AD. To almost 2 centuries they keep on fighting. So Rashtkot. We will see these three dynasties fighting for capture of Kannauj. So when Harshvardhana died, thereafter there was a dynasty who had taken the control over the Kannauj called Ayudh dynasty. So Ayudh dynasty was a useless dynasty without any so much of the efficient control. So obviously all three powers considered themselves as the most important power of India at that time. They started taking the breath to take the control over the Kannauj. So they started taking chance to take the control of Kannauj. Pal, Pratihar and Rashtrakoot. These three powers. So first we have the Pratihar dynasty. Pratihar was Agnikul Rajput. Agnikul Rajput, Nagbhat Pratham, in Nagbhat first. He was the founder of Pratihara dynasty. Is a founder of Pratihara dynasty. Nagbhat first. So Pratihar was Agnikul Rajput. After Nagbhat first, Vatsraj. I will tell you some important rulers only. Vatsraj. So Vatsraj, he started tripartite struggle. He started tripartite struggle. He started tripartite struggle. Vatsraj. He invaded over Kannauj and he started tripartite struggle. Vatsraj. Then comes Nagbhat. Second. So it was Pratihar who started tripartite struggle. Vatsraj. Then comes the Nagbhat. Second. Nagbhat second, for some time, taken the control over Kannauj. For some time, taken the control over Kannauj. For some time, taken the control over Kannauj. Nagbhat second. And he made the capital. Kannauj became capital of Pratihar, but he was very soon defeated by Rashtrakoot. So again Kannauj was lost. So Kannauj was open, still there in the open for the powers to take the chance to capture the Kannauj. So the Kannauj was still there in the opening mode. Nagbhat second. There was one ruler, Mahendrapal first and Mahipal. In his court, Mahendrapal or Mahipal, in his court, there was a famous poet Rajsekhar. Rajsekhar. Rajsekhar, he wrote Kavya Mimamsa. He wrote Kavya Mimamsa. Kavya Mimamsa. Rajsekhar, he was a famous poet of the Sanskrit language. Sanskrit language. He was the greatest poet of the time, Rajsekhar. So he was living in court of both Mahendrapal and Mahipal. Court of both. So Rajsekhar, he was the greatest poet of the Sanskrit literature. He wrote Kavya Mimamsa. Kavya Mimamsa. He wrote Karpur Manjari. These things are very important for your examination. Kavya Mimamsa, Karpur Manjari, Bal Bharat. Bal Ramayan. Bal Bharat, Bal Ramayan, Kavya Mimamsa, Karpur Manjari. So these are the literature presented by Rajsekhar. Rajsekhar. So Rajsekhar was the greatest poet in Sanskrit language. Greatest poet in Sanskrit language. Right? So Mahendrapal first. The greatest ruler of the Pratihar, the greatest ruler of Pratihar was Mihir Bhoj. He is the greatest ruler of Pratihar dynasty, Mihir Bhoj. He was a worshipper of Vishnu. He worshipped Vishnu. And he had taken the title of Adibara Vishnu. And Adibara itself is said to have the form of Vishnu. Bara is one of the incarnation of Vishnu, out of the 10 incarnation. So Adibara, the word used for Vishnu. So he had taken the title of Adibara. Mihir Bhoj. So only these rulers you need to remember about the Pratihar. But the more important fact is that the Pratihar started the tripartite struggle by invading over Kannauj. Nagbhat made it first capital for some time, but very soon expelled by Rashtrakuta. And then you keep the name of this poet Rajsekhar. He was living in the court of Mahendrapal first and Mahipal. And he wrote 4 books. This is very important. You need to remember these 4 books written by Rajsekhar. Rajsekhar was the greatest poet of the Sanskrit literature. Sanskrit literature. And then Mihir Bhoj, he was the greatest ruler of the Pratihar dynasty, and he was worshipper of Vishnu, and he take the title of Adi Bara. Next is Pal. Pala dynasty of Bengal. I hope you remember that when Shashank died, Shashank, he was a Sebite ruler, always putting वो भस्म लगा के बैठता था वो पूरा शरीर में. So Sebite ruler, and over days, red eyes challenged many, the entire northern Indian rulers. So when Shashank was killed by the joint force of Bhaskar Barman of Assam and Harshvardhan, both combinedly killed Shashank. So once Shashank was killed, then there was a political chaos in Bengal. Harshvardhan or the Bhaskar Barman was not able to hold the thing for the long time. So therefore when Shashank was killed, there was political chaos in Bengal. So in these circumstances, what we see, there was no political authority existed there in Bengal. So the wise men of Bengal, intellectuals of Bengal came forward and they elected a noble person, Gopal. So Gopal was an elected ruler of, so Gopal led the foundation of Pala dynasty and he was elected by the people. Gopal was elected by the people. Elected king है ये Gopal. He is elected by the people. So out of the many rulers, Gopal was an elected king. (750 AD), Pal dynasty came into existence. 750 AD, Pal dynasty came into existence. Thank you. Pal dynasty came into existence. After Gopal, Dharmpal. Dharmpal. He was involved in tripartite struggle. Dharmpal, he was involved in tripartite struggle. So Dharmpal, like Pratihar, came across with So he was involved in tripartite struggle. Then comes the Devpal. Devpal. Devpal defeated the ruler of Nepal and brought it into the Pala control. So Nepal was under the control of Devpal. So Pala dynasty had extended to Nepal. famous Arabian traveler Suleiman. Suleiman. He visited in the Palakot, Arabian traveler. Arabian traveler Suleiman. He visited in the Palakot, court of Pal dynasty. He visited. Suleiman visited in the Palakot. He brought some coins of the Khalifa. He brought some coins from the Khalifa to present it to the Pala king. He brought some coins from the Khalifa. So, coins of Khalifa of Baghdad. Coins of Khalifa of Baghdad was brought as a gift to the Pala dynasty. So Devpal received that Suleiman. Art and architecture of the Pal. Art and architecture of the Pal dynasty. What we see here, art and architecture of the Pal dynasty. Art and architecture of the Pal dynasty. Architecture. Many monasteries was constructed. Udantpuri Mahabihar. Sompura Mahabihar. Sompura Mahabihar was constructed during the Pal dynasty. Pal constructed Bikramshila University. This is in Bihar. Bikramshila University was also constructed by Pal. After Nalanda, this is the biggest university established. Biggest university established after Nalanda. Shodantpuri Mahabihar, Sompura Mahabihar and Bikramshila University. After Nalanda, this is the biggest university came into existence. Pala was follower of Vajrayana Buddhism. Pala was follower of Vajrayana Buddhism. And you know the chief deity of Vajrayana Buddhism was Tara. Chief deity of Vajrayana Buddhism was Tara. Yeah. उसको फॉर्मेट कर दिए थे ना, फॉर्मेट किए थे, फॉर्मेट किए थे ना। लोगो है। So Pala, Vajrayana Buddhism. Chief deity of Vajrayana Buddhism is Tara. Chief deity of Vajrayana Buddhism is Tara. So Pala dynasty was worshipper of Tara. Worshipper of Tara. Devpal he established contact with ruler of Indonesia. Indonesia was ruled by Sailendra dynasty. Sailendra dynasty. So Indonesia was ruled by Sailendra dynasty. So Devpal had established close contact with Indonesian rulers. So Bengal and then Southeast Asia is very much connected. Ruler of Indonesia. So Bengal and Southeast Asia was very much connected. Pala dynasty was very much connected to the Indonesians. Entire stretch was dominated by the Pals. Entire Bay of Bengal was dominated by the Pala dynasty. There was a challenge from various corners to the Pala dynasty. So entire Bengal was dominated. And then entire Southeast Asia. Devpal. Devpal. Pala was famous for painting. Pala painting is a very, very different school of painting. They paint on the sal leaves. Sal leaves. They paint with a Jatak story. That is Buddha. Painting of Buddha, Jatak story. Only single human was painted. Single picture of Buddha was painted. Single picture of Buddha was painted. Pala painting was known as Pothi. Pothi. Pala painting is known as Pothi. Two greatest painter of the time, of the Pal dynasty, Dhiman and Bitpal. Dhiman and Bitpal, they were the two great painters of the Pal dynasty. Dhiman and Bitpal, they were the two great painters of the Pal dynasty. So Dhiman and Bitpal. Two great painters of the Pal dynasty. So these are the fact and file of the Pala dynasty. So Pal was also involved in tripartite struggle. Pal was also involved in tripartite struggle. Pal painting, okay. Then next we will talk about the description of Rastkoot. Rastkoot. The capital of Rashtrakuta was Manikhet in Maharashtra. Manikhet in Maharashtra. There are two capitals, Manikhet and Kalyani. Manikhet and Kalyani. So Rashtrakuta, Manikhet and Kalyani. The founder of the Rashtrakuta dynasty was Danti Durga. Founder of the Rashtrakuta dynasty was Danti Durga. Danti Durga, he was the founder of Rashtrakuta dynasty. One more ruler, Krishna first. We will talk some important ruler only, any type of contribution, any important point, Krishna first. So Krishna first, he constructed Kailash temple at Ellora. Kailash temple at Ellora. He constructed Kailash temple at Ellora. Krishna first. Kailash temple, Ellora. That was a rock cut temple. You all know this is a rock cut temple. Krishna first. Then one more Rashtrakuta ruler, Dhruv. He started tripartite struggle. Tripartite struggle. Dhruv, he started tripartite struggle. And among all the powers of Rashtrakuta, northern India, Pal, Pratihar, Rashtrakuta, among all the powers, Rashtrakuta was the most powerful. Among all the powers, Rashtrakuta was most powerful. And more powerful than Pal, Pratihar. But you will find that Rashtrakuta had some big limitation. Rashtrakuta was the first power in southern India who started meddling in the affairs of the northern Indian politics. And far away, Maharashtra to Kannauj, the distance was very big. So there are some geographical limitations, geopolitical limitations of the Rashtrakuta. That was preventing Rashtrakuta to take control over the Kannauj. But Rashtrakuta was the most powerful among all the three. That is Rashtrakuta, Pal and Pratihar. But Rashtrakuta had some geopolitical limitations. So Rashtrakuta was not in position to take the control over the Kannauj. After Dhruv, we have one ruler known as Amoghvars. Amoghvars was Jaina. He accepted Jaina, but he worshipped Mahalakshmi also. He worshipped Mahalakshmi also. So he was Jaina and he worshipped Mahalakshmi as well. He worshipped Mahalakshmi as well. Amoghvars. Worship Mahalakshmi. Then Krishna III, ruler of the Pala dynasty, ruler of the Rashtrakuta dynasty. Look, I told you that look at the map here I have made. Who are the powers? This is Rashtrakuta. Rashtrakuta. and this is a Chola. So whenever Rashtrakut approached to Kannauj, Chola invaded over Rashtrakut. So Chola had created very big trouble for Rajkot. So Rashtrakut will try to tackle Chola first, then only when Rashtrakut will take care of Kannauj. Okay. So what actually I wanted to convey you, that Rashtrakut had faced major challenge. Rashtrakut has faced major challenge So Krishna III decided to go for war against Chola. Ruler of Chola was Prantak first. So now in the challenge, the Rashtrakuta, which Rashtrakuta had a challenge here. So Rashtrakuta, this is the area that Rashtrakuta had, very big area Rashtrakuta had, and then Rashtrakuta was challenged by Chola. This is the Chola state. So capture of Kannauj was a distant dream. Rashtrakuta will have to first challenge from the Chola. So Krishna III, the Rashtrakuta ruler, invaded over Chola Prantak first. We'll study Chola also, don't worry. So Prantak first. And this is a famous battle in southern India called Battle of Takkolam. In 949 AD, there was a battle called Battle of Takkolam. Battle of Takkolam. So Battle of Takkolam was a very, very important battle in which Rashtrakuta defeated Chola. Krishna III defeated Prantak first. Half of the state, half of Chola state was captured. Half of the Chola state was captured by Rashtrakuta. Half of the Chola state was captured by Rashtrakuta, nor Rashtrakuta had extended to far south. Half of the Chola state was captured by Rashtrakuta. So after the war, 949 AD, Battle of Takkolam, famous battle in southern India, half of the Chola state was captured by Rashtrakuta. This battle you must remember. So Rashtrakuta was trying all the ways so that Rashtrakuta would not face any challenge from southern India and then will take control of Kannauj. But by the time it became too late, Rashtrakuta was frustrating. So Indra III, the Rashtrakuta ruler, invaded over Kannauj, devastated Kannauj like anything. Devastated Kannauj and then left the battlefield open. Open battlefield. So Indra III went to Kannauj, devastated Kannauj, and left the field, left Kannauj open for others. Left the Kannauj open for others. Left the field open for others. So finally, Pratihar had started the battle And the final victory of Kannauj was by the Pratihar. So, Battle of Takkulam. Krishna third. Indra third, he opened the battle front, he invaded over Kannauj and devastated Kannauj from all direction and then left the Kannauj open. And finally, Pratihar was victorious. So, Kannauj, Pratihar got the final victory of Kannauj and left the field open for others. So finally Pratihar captured Kannauj. So Pratihar was the beginner and finally Pratihar got the control over Kannauj. Pratihar got the victory over Kannauj. So this is a story between Pal, Pratihar and Rashtkot. This is called tripartite struggle. Tripartite struggle. After this, the next part of the syllabus is invasion of Mahmud Ghazni. I told you that now Rajput and the Indian resistance, because of the continuous war for the 190 years, so now Mahmud Ghazni decided to invade over India. Mahmud Ghazni invaded over India many times. Invaded over India many times. It is said that his invasion was around 17 times. Most of the invasion was directed against Rajasthan and Gujarat. Most of the invasion. Rajasthan and Gujarat. "17 times invasion was made. Invasion of Mahmud Ghazni. Mahmud Ghazni, which let's have some good information about Mahmud Ghazni. Mahmud Ghazni, Ghazni, you understand, this is the area of Ghazni, the northern Afghanistan and the eastern Iran. This is the area which is called area of Ghazni. This is area of Ghazni. Mahmud belongs to here. Northern Afghanistan and eastern Iran. This is the area of Mahmud Ghazni. Okay, so Mahmud Ghazni, he was first person in the Islamic world who got the title of Sultan. And he was the right hand man of Khalifa. So Khalifa also recognized his title of Sultan. So he was right hand man of Khalifa. Mahmud Ghazni. So first person in the Islamic world who got the title of Sultan. He invaded over India 17 times, mostly in Rajasthan and Gujarat region. But out of the most invasions, the 15th invasion was invasion on Somnath. Somnath. Invasion over Somnath. Somnath is a temple in Gujarat. Temple in Gujarat. So primary objective of invasion of Mahmud Ghazni, primary objective of invasion of Mahmud Ghazni was invasion over Somnath, was to plunder primary objective of invasion of Mahmud Ghazni was to plunder. So he was not here to establish the empire. He was not at all here to establish the empire. So not here to establish the empire. Mahmud Ghazni. He was a great patron of poet. Many writers were there in the court of Mahmud Ghazni. Famous writer Al-Biruni he was there in the court of Mahmud Ghazni, who wrote Kitab-ul-Hind. He wrote Kitab-ul-Hind. He gave valuable description about the India, Kitab-ul-Hind. This book is in Arabic. Kitab-ul-Hind, this book is in Arabic. Al-Biruni wrote this Arabic. He stayed many years in Banaras. He learned Sanskrit. According to Al-Biruni, Indian caste system Jati, caste system, is a major reason of defeat of Indians. Indian caste system is major reason for the defeat of Indians. Caste system is a major reason for the defeat of Indians. He criticized Brahmanas for not sharing the knowledge with the others. He criticized Brahmanas for not sharing the knowledge with the others. So Al-Biruni was very critical about and criticized about not sharing the knowledge with others. Not sharing the knowledge with the others. He praised the Indian culture, resources, Al-Biruni praised the Indian culture, resources, language. All descriptions are there in Al-Biruni, in Kitabul Hind. But he did not praise his master, Mahmud Ghazni. He did not praise his master, Mahmud Ghazni. So Mahmud Ghazni had all praise for Indian language, literature. So caste system was the reason behind the defeat. Another great scholar living in the court of Mahmud Ghazni, Firdausi. Firdausi, he was Indian Muslim. He was from India. Mahmud Ghazni was very impressed with his knowledge. So he was an Indian Muslim. Firdausi, he wrote Shahnama. In Persian. But he also did not praise Mahmud Ghazni. No praise was there for Mahmud Ghazni. Firdausi, Shahnama. No praise was there for Mahmud Ghazni. And the next is Firdausi के बाद we have Utbi. Utbi. Utbi he wrote Tarikh-e-Subukhtgin. Subukhtgin. Tarikh-e-Subukhtgin. And then he praised his father. Subukhtgin was his father of Mahmud Ghazni. And he was a court poet. So all descriptions are there related to praise of his father, but not of that of the Mahmud Ghazni. Not that of the Mahmud Ghazni. So this is a life of Mahmud Ghazni related to all the fact and file. So primary objective of Mahmud Ghazni was not to establish empire, but to plunder, to have a maximum wealth exploitation from here, war booty, and then return back to Ghazni. So 17 times he invaded. Most of the time his invasion was directed against Rajasthan and Gujarat. Most of the time his invasion was directed against Rajasthan and Gujarat. The ruler of Gujarat was Chalukya of Solanki, Agnikul Rajput. But Chalukya never resisted Mahmud Ghazni. Whenever Mahmud Ghazni wanted, he plundered the Gujarat and then returned back to Ghazni. So I told you that some fire do not fire. This is the fire, Chalukya's. He was from the firebrand Rajput, Agnikul Rajput, but never fired in entire life. Chalukya had a very long rule in Gujarat. So after invasion of Mahmud Ghazni, two Rajputs started fighting, Chauhan and Garhwal, and taking advantage of that, Muhammad Ghori invaded over India, and then Muhammad Ghori established the Delhi Sultanate. The objective of Muhammad Ghori was to establish the empire in India. So after the invasion of Mahmud Ghazni, the fight among the Rajput. So fight among the Rajput had started. After invasion of Mahmud Ghazni, fight among the Rajput had started. Two Rajputs, particularly Chauhan and Garhwal. Chauhan and Garhwal. So Chauhan, the famous Chauhan ruler, Chauhan was known as a Shakambhari. Shakambhari is a village. So earliest capital of Chauhan was Shakambhari, Rajasthan. Chauhan was Agnikul Rajput. So earliest capital of Chauhan was Shakambhari. It was a village of the Chauhan. After Shakambhari, Ajmer became capital, and after Ajmer, Delhi became the capital of Chauhan. So Shakambhari Chauhan, Shakambhari was the village, it was the earliest capital, then Ajmer, then Delhi. Famous Chauhan ruler Ajay Raj. He established city of Ajmer. Ajay Raj. He established the city of Ajmer. He established the city of Ajmer. Another Chauhan ruler, Bigrah Raj. This is the fact, pure fact. Bigrah Raj. He was a writer. He wrote Hari Keli Natak, which is a Sanskrit drama. Hari Keli Natak, which is a Sanskrit drama. Bigrah Raj. Bigrah Raj III, Bishal Dev. So he wrote a Sanskrit drama. So Bigrah Raj III, Hari Keli Natak, Chauhan. Then in the Chauhan ruler, Prithvi Raj III. Prithvi Raj III. Prithvi Raj III, he is the greatest ruler of the Chauhan. Greatest Chauhan ruler. He was a great patron of poets. Great patron of poets. Great patron of poet. Chandra Bardai. He was the poet living in the court of Prithvi Raj III. He was a court poet and he wrote Prithvi Raj Rasho. Rasho. Jank. He wrote Prithvi Raj Vijay. Jank, he wrote Prithvi Raj Vijay. Wait for a minute. We'll just back. Suchand Bardai, his Prithviraj Rasho, and Jayant, he wrote Prithviraj Vijay. So here we can get the question in the prelims examination. Normally we can get questions from in the prelims, matching questions, direct questions, we can have it from here. So Prithviraj III, he was the greatest patron of poet. He was the greatest ruler of the Chauhan dynasty as well. Then Garhwal. Garhwal. Capital at Kannauj. Garhwal with the capital at Kannauj. Kannauj was a very strategic important, because of the Kannauj there were fight among the Rajputs and Pal, Rashtrakuta, but finally Garhwal of UK, don't confuse with UK, is Uttarakhand. So Garhwal of UK, and the capital was Kannauj. So famous Garhwal ruler was Jaichand. So Jaichand was famous Garhwal ruler. So Jaichand, among all your friends, there is one person who is called Jaichand. Means if you want to point anyone traitor, जिसको गद्दार बनाना चाहते हैं आप, so traitor we call that he is Jaichand. So this is how the Jaichand was dubbed as. So he actually in connection with Muhammad Ghori. So Jaichand was also patron of poet. In his court, there were so many poets staying. Famous was Jaydev. Jaydev was here in the court of Garhwal, but when Garhwal collapsed by Turks, then Jaydev went to Sena dynasty of Bengal. So Jaydev and Srihars both were a great poet living there. Jaydev, Geet Gobind, and Srihars, he wrote Naisedh Charitam. Naisedh Charitam. So Naisedh Charitam was written by Srihars, and Geet Gobind was written by Jaydev. So they were staying in the court of Garhwal ruler Jaichand. So you have to be ready for such fact. You can get it in all ways. So Jaydev and Srihars. Naisedh Charitam. So reason behind the tension between Chauhan and Garhwal. So Chauhan, Prithviraj Chauhan, he was a very glamorous person, Prithviraj Chauhan. He was a very glamorous person. And Garhwal Jaichand, so his daughter Samyogita, Samyogita. Jayachand's daughter Samyogita. Her Swayamvar was organized. You understand Swayamvar? Self-choice of husband. But it is said that Prithviraj Chauhan and Samyogita both ran away on the day of Swayamvar, when many Rajput warriors and the prince was waiting that we will have a Swayamvar. Then they had a back door, fled away from there. So Prithviraj Chauhan and Samyogita. Because Prithviraj Chauhan was not invited in the Swayamvar. Was not invited in the Swayamvar. Prithviraj Chauhan. So this is the region, the Samyogita affair was the main region between Chauhan and Garhwal, Prithviraj Chauhan and Jayachand. So when Muhammad Ghori will invade over India against Prithviraj Chauhan, then Jayachand will help Muhammad Ghori. And when Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated, then Ghori will defeat Jayachand also. So this is how the third Islamic invasion, whatever the 6 important stages I have discussed, let me see here again. In the beginning itself today, I told you that how we will proceed with the syllabus. I told you that capture of Sindh we have discussed, origin of Rajput we have discussed, fight, that is tripartite struggle between Pal, Pratihar and Rajput we have discussed. Then invasion of Mahmud Ghazni we have already taken, and then fight between the Chauhan and Garhwal. So 5 points already we have covered. And now invasion of Muhammad Ghori and establishment of Delhi Sultanate. So we are moving over the invasion of Muhammad Ghori. I hope all of you have written these 6 points, and after establishment of Sultanate we will directly go sail to the Mughals till the Mughal decline of the Mughal Empire. Okay, so this is the way that we have proceeded the syllabus. Very first minute when I started the medieval India, we started with the syllabus. So we have seen the enmity between Prithviraj Chauhan and Jayachand. The region was Samyogita affair. Samyogita affair. So now invasion of Muhammad Ghori. Invasion of Muhammad Ghori. His primary objective was to create empire in India, was to have political control in India. He simply did not came for invasion, but to create the political control, political system in India. So Muhammad Ghori. Political control in India. So Muhammad Ghori, he started the first invasion he did in India, invasion over Gujarat. Most of the invaders from Central Asia, Turks, he was Turk. So invasion over Gujarat. (1175 AD). This is the first invasion of Muhammad Ghori. (1175 AD). But in the Battle of Mount Abu, Ghori was defeated. Ghori was defeated. So Ghori faced a defeat in the first attempt of the invasion, that invasion over Gujarat. He came with the primary objective was to create empire in India. So therefore, invasion over Gujarat, 1175. So normally, there are two passes in Hindu Kush mountain. One that is Bolan Pass, and second that is Khyber Pass. So when you enter through the Bolan Pass, you will come to Gujarat, Rajasthan, Sindh, Gujarat, Rajasthan. So all the Islamic invaders coming from the Hindu Kush region, they choose this pass, and thereafter the invasion over Sindh, Gujarat, Rajasthan. Sindh was already under the Islamic rule. Now they were invading over the Gujarat and Rajasthan. But after this defeat of Mount Abu, Muhammad Ghori, he changed the path, and then he followed the path of Khyber Pass. And Khyber Pass means you will enter in Punjab and Delhi. So therefore, after this defeat, he changed the path, and after this defeat, he followed the path of Khyber. Khyber Pass. And that is the invasion over Gujarat and Delhi. Invasion over Punjab and Delhi, Khyber Pass. So I told you that there are two passes. One pass is through the Bolan, other pass is through the Khyber. So Khyber Pass, now the invasion will be there on Punjab and Delhi. Invasion over Punjab and Delhi. So second time, Muhammad Ghori, the second invasion. Second invasion came, which is known as Battle of Tarain. There are two battles. Battle of Tarain first. This battle was against Prithviraj Chauhan. Prithviraj Prithviraj Chauhan versus Muhammad Ghori. Prithviraj Chauhan Prithviraj Chauhan So, Battle of Tarain first. In this battle, Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghori. So, second consecutive battle, the Muhammad Ghori faced the defeat. Second consecutive battle, Muhammad Ghori faced the defeat. Right? Third, Battle of Tarain, same battle. This is a second Battle of Tarain. This was in 1191. This is in 1192. Next year. But in this battle, because of the support from Jaichand, Muhammad Ghori defeated Prithviraj Chauhan and captured Delhi. So Muhammad Ghori now captured Delhi and defeated Prithviraj Chauhan. Prithviraj Chauhan. Right, so Delhi was lost by the Rajput and Muhammad Ghori. So Jaichand was very happy, celebrated Diwali the next day because Jaichand got revenge from the Chauhan. So it was a massive revenge that was got by Jaichand. Massive revenge was got by Jaichand. So Jaichand finally had a celebration, Diwali. And then next, you'll find that now the Islamic rulers had already captured, Muhammad Ghori had already captured Punjab, Multan. This region was under the control of Muhammad Ghori. Delhi. This region is under the control of Muhammad Ghori. Sindh. But here start the Kannauj. Kannauj, where Jaichand was there. So after first battle of Tarain, second battle of Tarain, Delhi was, till Delhi there was a control of Muhammad Ghori. Jaichand had Diwali celebration, but 1194 Battle of Chandavar. Ghori versus Jaichand. Jaichand. Battle of Chandavar. So Gori said na कि अब तुम्हारी बारी है. So Gori versus Jayachand, and Jayachand lost in this battle, and Kannauj was also captured. So now the Islamic rule had entered till Kannauj. But Muhammad Gori, he had to return back. Gori returned back to Central Asia. So after that, there was a commander of Muhammad Gori, commander of Muhammad Gori. His name was Bakhtiyar Khalji. Bakhtiyar Khalji. Bakhtiyar Khalji, with only 17 horsemen, because after Kannauj, this is the Buddhist area. Entire Bihar, Eastern UP, Bihar, Bengal was a Buddhist belt. So after this, Gori captured till Kannauj, then he returned back to Central Asia. Then Bakhtiyar Khalji, with only 17 horsemen, this is a bit surprising. Only 17 horsemen he captured. He massacred the entire Bihar, Bengal. Many Buddhist monks were killed, burned Nalanda University, burnt all the monasteries, and then captured till Bengal. Captured till Bengal. This is a stretch. The ruler was established. Ruling system was established by Muhammad Gori. Captured till Bengal. So Bengal. So from Kannauj, it was Bakhtiyar Khalji. So Muhammad Gori returned back to Central Asia. Muhammad Gori had no sons, but he was having large number of slaves. There were many slaves of Muhammad Gori. In Islam, slave was treated like a son. Slave can inherit the property as well. So therefore Muhammad Gori he captured till Bengal and then appointed his one of the slave Kutubuddin Aibak. So Kutubuddin Aibak, Nasiruddin Kubacha, Tajuddin Yaldoj, these are some of the important slaves of Kutubuddin Muhammad Gori. So they got Multan, they got Central Asia. But here in Delhi, the Delhi Sultanate, it was task of the Kutubuddin Aibak. Task of Kutubuddin Aibak. So after Bakhtiyar Khalji, the commander of Muhammad Gori, defeated till Bengal from Kannauj to Bengal with 17 horsemen. He burned the entire university, Nalanda University, Bikramshila University. So Bakhtiyar Khalji. So Kutubuddin Aibak, he was slave of Muhammad Gori. Qutbuddin Aibak, he was slave of Muhammad Ghori. And he laid the foundation of Delhi Sultanate. Laid the foundation of Delhi Sultanate. Delhi Sultanate. He laid the foundation of Delhi Sultanate. 1206 AD, Delhi Sultanate was established. Delhi Sultanate was established. Qutbuddin Aibak was slave of Muhammad Ghori, so it was a slave dynasty. Because all the rulers were slave, so slave dynasty. Slave dynasty. The capital of this Delhi Sultanate was at Lahore. Lahore was the capital of Sultanate. So although it was called Delhi Sultanate, but capital of this Sultanate was Lahore. Qutbuddin Aibak was slave. Capital of the Sultanate was Lahore. This dynasty is also known as Mamluk dynasty. Mamluk dynasty. This dynasty is also known as Mamluk dynasty. Mamluk means slave born from free parents. Slave born from free parents, and that is the military background, means their family was not traditionally slave. Their family was from the very noble family. So what is Mamluk? Mamluk means slave born from prestigious family. Slave born from prestigious family. So there are many ways to become slave. Either you sold yourself, either you captured in the war. So this is the way that normally slavery was made in the Turks. So these slaves were very loyal to the Muhammad Ghori, but they were not from ordinary family. So they were from the military background, military family, so they became slave. So Mamluk dynasty. Slave born from free family. So Qutbuddin Aibak, he laid the foundation. Look, he was a slave, so he never take the title of Sultan. He called himself Malik or Sipah Salar. Malik or Sipah Salar. Fine. So Malik or Sipah Salar. He did not take the title of slave. He served as a representative of Muhammad Ghori, because slave cannot become a ruler. So he had never taken the title of Sultan. Rather, he called himself Malik or Sipah Salar. But he was Turk, like Muhammad Ghori. He was from the Turk. Look, Turkish is a race. Turkish is a race. And there are many tribes in the Turk. There are 64 tribes in Turk. There were 64 tribes in the Turk. So one of them was Ebak. So Ebak is the name of the tribe from this Kutubuddin belongs. So Kutubuddin belongs to Ebak tribe. Very surprisingly, Ebak means moon. The people of that tribe as handsome, like beautiful like moon. But in the entire tribe, Kutubuddin Ebak was the only exception. He was very ugly. So the Ebak means moon, because people of that tribe was as beautiful, as handsome like moon. But Kutubuddin Ebak, he was very ugly. He was very ugly. So Mamluk dynasty. Okay, so he slave born from free parents. This is a Mamluk. So he never take the title of Sultan. Never take the title of Sultan. Slave born from free parents. Kutubuddin Ebak, he had get by heart all the Quran completely. He is known as Quran Khwa. So he had remember all the verses of Quran completely. So Quran Khan. But he never take the title of Sultan. I told you that there are 4 or 5 dynasties ruled the Delhi Sultanate. Slave dynasty, then Khilji, all are Turks. Khilji dynasty, Tughlaq, Sayyid, and Lodi. So right now we are studying the slave dynasty. Slave dynasty. Slave, then Khilji dynasty, then Tughlaq dynasty, then Sayyid dynasty, and then Lodi dynasty, all are Turks. I told you that there are 63 to 64 tribes in the Turk. 63 to 64 tribes in the Turk. But right now, all the slaves of Muhammad Ghori had a very, very good positions from India to Multan to Ghazni. All were the slaves of Kutubuddin Aibak was there. But Kutubuddin Aibak was able to defeat all of them in order to secure the status in order to secure the status of entire ruling clan. Secure the status of entire ruling clan. Entire ruling clan. Qutbuddin Aibak, he transferred the capital from Lahore to Delhi. He did not transfer his slave. Iltutmish transfer. So Qutbuddin Aibak, he confined himself at Lahore. His slave Iltutmish had transferred the capital, but he confined himself at Lahore. So later on, the capital of Sultanate will be shifted from Lahore to Delhi, but at Lahore only. After his death, Aram Shah, he became ruler. Very incompetent in the ruling establishment, Aram Shah. So he was replaced by the slave of Qutbuddin Aibak, Iltutmish. Iltutmish is called real founder of Sultanate. Real founder of Sultanate. So he was from the Ilbari tribe. Ilbari tribe. Most powerful tribe among the Turk. So he was slave of Qutbuddin Aibak. Even in Islam, slave can have the slaves. Chela ka bhi chela hota tha. So Qutbuddin Aibak himself was a slave, and he kept another slave, that is Iltutmish, and he is the real founder of Sultanate. So we have started the 6 major steps. I hope in the very first lesson when we started the medieval, I pointed out that all those steps. I hope you have noted down on so you are able to connect the linkages, because various dynasties are parallel. So some dynasties get connected sometimes. So don't take tension. Whatever I have taught you, that is enough for your examination point of view. And then you do one thing. Tripartite struggle, Pal, Pratihar and Rashtrakuta. I have told you some of the name of the rulers. You'll find that some of the Pratihara ruler and name of some of the Pal rulers will be same, but they are different. Obviously, the state is different, then ruler will be different. So this is coincidental. There's nothing to do that both the rulers had ruled at the same position, right? So therefore, I have laid down some important rulers for you in the Pal, Pratihar and Rashtrakutas. And you remember that those ruler only. We will see the list from the Pal side. There are many, like we have the Mahipal, Narayan Pal, Devpal. They all will be there in the Pratihara also, but not parallel. The name will be same, but ruler are different. Lodhis were Turko-Afghans. I told you that they were Turkish, are basically the race, and there are many tribes in the Turk. So Lodhis were Turko-Afghans, not Pashtuns. Turko-Afghans. They were basically from Afghanistan. So there were 63 to 64 tribes in the Turk, and Lodhis got associated with the Pashtuns. That's also having the Turkish relations, but they were basically Turko-Afghanistan. Basically, Afghanis claim on the KPK province of Pakistan. Mainly on the basis of that, they are also considered themselves as a part of the Afghani tribe. So that's all for the day, and we will continue with some of your question answer. Yes, there is a difference between founder and real founder. When we will study Iltutmish, his works, then we will come to know that why he is called real founder. He transferred the capital from Lahore to Delhi, and then he arranged everything in order to consolidate over the vast majority of Hindu population. He led the conquest in Rajasthan as well. So therefore, he is a real founder. He started the monetization of economy as well. So he started Iqta system as well. So some of the works which became the foundation of the Sultanate was led by Iltutmish. We will study all the works, then we will come to know that why he should be called as a real founder of Sultanate. Okay, so that's all for the day. We'll see you tomorrow, or we'll see you in the next class. Whenever there will be next class, we'll meet Monday. Thank you so much.